And the idea is, and John says about using this shaking oscillatory movement to escape holds, or yeah, it's true, John. You can use the body to wriggle out of things, or create angles, to create an angle
space.
so I can get so I can get a shot in.
Yeah.
Whether it's on the ground.
There seems to be no space, and you can make some
or he
space.
suggests that the Sanchin is for grappling, but the real truth is you wouldn't want to put a foot forward because the guy's going to grab it.
Yeah.
And the movement is never balanced because it's always, when you're lifting a weight, it's equal. But when you're fighting, it's unequal.
Right.
When he's pushing you, you're always making these adjustments with your body through your sensitivity to, that's why you need to sometimes not only train symmetrically, if you like, if that's the word, but asymmetrically.
Yeah.
Lifting weights which are uneven.
Yeah. That's why you use a sandbag and
That's
things
why
like
you use
that.
sandbags and things like that. Awkward weights, so your body gets used to stabilizing you in not in a uniform way, but in an ununiform way. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
People they've got it, but they haven't got it. They kind of haven't got it. And I don't know. I was reading the thread on KU, and naturally everybody's talking about this thing Hikite and popping their 10 penneth worth or 2 penneth or 1 penneth or whatever it is on with regards to the dynamics of movement, and they don't really understand the dynamics, and because they're not referencing actual fights, they haven't really, other than their own, which is very subjective. It's very difficult for it to be, I believe, to be an intelligent discussion. because actually there's no actual concrete proof what they're saying works. Whereas if you watch a fight and you can identify that process within a fight, or point to that process within the way a guy throws his javelin, or the way, as I put it, tennis serve, or whatever he's doing, whether he's a Beckham kicking a football, or a baseball player, or a pitcher throwing his ball, or a bowler, you've got at least something which is a practical example of those dynamics in action.
Yeah.
And I think that to me is far more important than this other stuff. The other stuff is nice to investigate. It's nice. It's a bit like Poirot. You end up, there's a body in the room. Who did it?
Yeah.
And karate's a little bit like that, I suppose.
It is. There is a body in the room, and it's dead.
Who killed it?
Hey, Steve, that's great. There is a dead body.
So it brings out that element in the Poirots. They're lined up, aren't they? Fucking hundreds of them. But why? You don't need. You've got live bodies to actually study, to go and look at. You can get much more information. It's safer because you don't have. Nothing challenges your belief on that basis.
Well, it can never be proven absolute.
No, you can't prove it wrong because you can't.
It's a big religion. You can't prove that God doesn't exist. So discussion can go on forever.
You kind of go back and challenge whether he stood on a. Suddenly this voice came down from heaven and said, I'm going to make this and so and so and da da da. You can't challenge that. You can say, well, I don't think it makes any sense compared to what this guy's saying. And I think that's the thing, is that it's supporting a belief rather than supporting something which actually you can see.
You know what I find unfortunate is that there's so much in martial arts. There's so much there to get sidetracked by all this other stuff.
Yeah, well, I knew that. It's like I believed in the martial art. I believed in karate, but like I'm putting in an article, I translated all my experiences of my father, myself, my fighting experiences, and all those things onto the martial arts. So Yamaguchi and people like Oyama became more than my father, became more than the sum total of all my experiences. But they weren't.
Yeah, they were less.
But I thought they were.
Well, you projected.
And so when I went to Vernon Bells and watched those idiots doing their karate, I said, wow, fucking, there's got to be something better. Then I went to Steve Arnell and said, fucking hell, this is bad, but I'll stay.
But it's not the real karate.
It's not the real karate.
I'll go to Japan.
Yeah, I one day either find it myself or discover it. Or I go to Japan and then realize that isn't it. Then I go to Okinawa and realize that isn't it. Then go to fucking China and realize that isn't it. And then realize,
where else do you go?
Where do you fucking go? The only place you go is back to where you were. And that was basically going back to Elm Street and referencing the UFC. But you do things to support your belief. But the thing is, you've got to get out of that. And like with you, John, if you're looking at this, you know, you've got so much information there. Use it. Use it. Kind of don't look for the karate to support what you know. Look to see if karate matches up to what you fucking well know. And I found it didn't. From my experience, it didn't match up to what I knew. I could put into it what I knew, but it didn't actually give me this information.
Yeah.